Been asked, but I know some of you may be interested, is that the national education policy has been very conscious of the fact that we in India need to address three major challenges, especially in relation to higher education. All three have been addressed quite successfully by York University for the last several decades since its founding. First, the need for expanding the higher education sector to be able to have more students, which is a question of a quantity problem. Our gross enrollment ratio is approximately 24%. We need to double it, and we literally have more and more students who need to come into higher education. But unfortunately, whenever one does that, we also suffer from quality deficit. York University has 55,000 plus students. It's a large university, yet is able to maintain high academic standards and is one of the world-class universities in the world. We need to imbibe that, and that is part of the vision of the national education policy, which is to address the issue of quantity, which is about expansion, and address the issue of quality, which is about excellence. The second major challenge that India is facing is that we have not been able to build world-class research institutions. This is again a major problem, because of which much of the Indian institutions are not being figured in the international rankings. York University has addressed this problem quite successfully. They have been able to bridge the gap between teaching and research, balance it out, so that it's not only takes its teaching seriously, which has a direct bearing on the student and the qualitative engagement in the classroom, but it also has been able to be at the forefront of research. Indian universities have, unfortunately, at best have done only one of them. The research institutions have been historically divested from teaching institutions, be it the Indian Space Research Organization, the CSIR, and many other such institutions. And of course, teaching used to happen historically in universities and colleges. We need to change that and draw that inspiration from York and bridging the gap between teaching and research, but also recognize the importance of both, which obviously informs and shapes the other. The third aspect of what Indian universities needs to address is that we have a challenge of a large number of educated, unemployed youth. We need to recognize the outcomes of our education and how it can impact a livelihood of individuals. Again, York University has been able to do a fantastic job, not only through its career services and aspects like that, but also to infuse opportunities relating to entrepreneurship as well as other such initiatives, so that the outcome of education is tied very strongly to the work that happens outside, including in the community, career services, and things like that. We in India, and especially our universities, have a long way to go in recognizing the relationship between education and careers, and B, to be able to build institutional mechanisms that can help students fulfill their career aspirations as they complete their higher studies. These three challenges are outlined very specifically within the national education policy, and these three have been dealt with very effectively by the leading Canadian universities, especially the York University. And one of the things that we hope to do is to develop opportunities for learning as well as shared experiences that can help our own institutions. Thank you.
And I've got a colleague here who actually is on the ground regarding that program, and I'm sure he's happy to answer any questions. But it began in 2013. That's when the project first launched. So it's been going on since 2013. And giving students and faculty members the opportunity to have these international experiences. You need to give a whole variety of opportunities. In some cases, it might be we develop a dual degree together. We might do a joint degree together. We might have short, concentrated international experiences when students can go from Canada to India or vice versa. The same with faculty members, faculty exchanges, encouraging faculty members to work together. Even globally networked learning courses. During the pandemic, we determining that we could offer online courses that would be co-taught by a faculty member in India with a faculty member at our university, at York University in Canada. And the students would come from the universities that were in both different countries and work together on a global problem. Even post-pandemic, those courses are so popular that we're going to keep them to give more choices for students, thinking about the whole umbrella of different kinds of globally engaged strategies. I want to emphasize about our global engagement strategy is that it has to be mutually beneficial and reciprocal. It's not a one-way flow of traffic. Our entrepreneurship student tour is about bringing Canadian students to India. And of course, we have Indian students from India coming to York University. Of the 54,000 students that we have, approximately 10,000 of those students are international students. We're about 18% right now and wanting to grow to about 25% international students. And of those 10,000 international students, approximately 2,000 of them are from India. Now, in terms of how many students we have in India right now from York University or from Canada in general, I'm afraid I just don't have my fingertip on those numbers.